I want to talk about logistics of something. And also, do you think stupid is contagious? Because I used to think that being intelligent and forming questions and not knowing things and finding new answers, and I thought dialogue and all of this makes people more intelligent, smarter. But I'm starting to realize that the between the internet and then the humans, that it seems like stupid is almost contagious. Or maybe it's ignorance, or once people get fool me once, then fool them 50 times, because they're once you fool them, the whole fool me once, you can't fool me twice. The George Bush one. That was funny. Um, no, I think it's that people, once they're fooled once, then you can fool them 1,000 times. That's not fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, you know, jerk off a cockatoo. Who knows? Anyways, and I say this because I try to have a question. I try to talk to people on the internet. Why I do this, I don't know. I was watching a video about the 50,000 truck drivers. So I'm going to assume that means maybe not 50,000 trucks, but somewhere up there. And I was doing some math in my head and looking at logistics of things, because, having a background in building and engineering, and also, some things logistically weren't fitting in my mind. So I posed a few questions, and I get the standard response on a YouTube video. Smiley face. I'm dumb. I'm overthinking this. Don't I think people have this worked out, etc., etc. To which I responded, okay, here's a list of questions, and then somebody's like, then I was like, you know what? Never mind. I'm out of here. And then somebody's like, gives me the smiley face. Oh, LMAO. You ask a question, they give you an answer, and I'm like, no, they didn't literally answer any of the questions. And here is the questions I posed, and what I already knew. And people gave me like, you don't think there's already these trucks on the road? And to which the simple response is, they're not all going in the same direction. They tried to give me an example that not more gas is needed because they're already on the road, which and they started giving me some sort of supply and demand, like 101. Yeah, okay, I didn't take any economics. I don't know anything about supply and demand. Anyways, there's 50,000 truckers, and then there's the slew of other people. There's supposed to be 500,000 people, and I presented this. Another 500,000 people going to Ottawa. So people, I said, first of all, people getting there, and the gasoline, and then the parking. Where are they going to park? Where's all these trucks going to park? Because granted, they're on the road, and there's gas usually available for all of them, yeah. But they're going in different directions, which means that each single gas station, see, this is logistically, right? The gas stations' tanks are not just going to expand. And then all the truckers that were on strike, the people with the gas station truckers too, not on strike, so they just go to Ottawa. So what about the rest of the gas? Where's that going? So now we have it's an issue, right? So obviously it's probably been figured out, but I was like, well, how would you figure this out? Because now we have 50,000 trucks going that way, coming to Ottawa, plus the other 500,000 people that are around there using more gas, more supplies, parking. It seems like a logistics nightmare, huh? Because you can't take the gas that was going to be going to Seattle. I mean, now you'd have to, because they're not going to Seattle, they're going that way. But where are they going to put it? Because the gas stations they're not pop up overnight. So I was asking this litany of questions. Okay, you get there. There's all of these people come to the city, drive there. And then I was going through, okay, well, how much of this is story? How much of it is exaggerated, etc., etc. And somebody's like, oh, don't worry, they have the money. I'm like, I didn't ask about the money. Money doesn't matter. If I need 10 oranges and I have $100, I can't just magically have 90 more oranges if I want, because it's not there. It doesn't matter the money. I'm talking about the actual supply of gas being transported to this place. To which I get idiotic responses, and instead of addressing what I'm questioning, so this is multiple fold, just stupidity, breeding stupidity, and people not. I'm like, you're not even answering the question. You're just like, I would not want you working for me or building anything because you'd be like, well, that's somebody else already figured that out. Well, I don't know because I looked at Ottawa and I was wondering, now all these trucks that are moving that I've seen pictures of, they have their 18 wheelers, right? They got their things in the back, which they don't need. I suppose maybe they do need them. I don't know, but the pictures I seen could have been stock photos, I assume. But I did see some video that somebody had taken of the truck. They were in an overpass, and they're like, "Oh, the trucks," and they all had their box in the back. Now, it said that it was about 7 kilometers long from start to the back end of where these trucks are driving. Now, simple math. I'm not great at math. But I probably could. We could talk through this. We could figure this out. 7 kilometers, and how long is a truck, and how much distance in between each truck. So how many trucks could you fit in 7 kilometers? Well, we could make it easy. Now I'm American, so I use miles, and miles to kilometers is a little bit off there. It's a little bit different. But let's just I will perhaps over budget. Kilometer is shorter or longer than a mile? I believe it's 5,280 feet but then we got to go to meters, and then, oh man, it's so confusing. A kilometer is longer than a mile, right? Is this right? Is this how this works? I don't know. Let's just say 10 miles. Okay. So in 1 mile, how many trucks could I get in 1 mile? Because remember, we're starting with 50,000 going there. And I'm saying I get it. They're coming from different directions, and they're not all leaving the same place. But the math doesn't seem to be working out. 7 miles, 7 kilometers, whatever that connects to. Even if you had 100 trucks, how long is a truck? How many feet from front to back? 100 feet? Is that too much? 10 meters to 50? Say 50 feet. I don't know. 50 feet? Like just whatever, 50 feet. So 100 feet. So 2 trucks per 100 feet. To get to 1,000, that'd be 20 trucks for 1,000 feet. 5,000 feet would be 100 trucks. 100 trucks per mile. So that'd be times 10. 1,000 trucks. That's quite a. It's not 50,000, is it? It's about 95% off. It's much less. Yeah, I get it. Trucks are coming from different directions and everything, but there seems to be a route that they're all going on, and this is the midway point, I guess. So I'm saying logistically and what the media provides to us as a source of information, it doesn't necessarily add up. But I'm really interested in where they're all parking. They're not going to just go to the one truck stop, because again, they normally wouldn't all be there. They'd be going to different truck stops everywhere, including the gas that's not going to be there. So once they get there, and then they got to leave and they're going home. So now they're going back to the same stations along the way to get gas. So it'd have to be, the logistics would have to be figured out in both directions, right? I don't know. But yeah, to think about that, don't worry, somebody figured it out already. Yeah, just like everything else in the world, somebody figured out, and that's why it seems that we're surrounded by so many morons and people that rely on everybody else to figure things out. And what they figured out wasn't accurate and wasn't in your best interest. That's why I just you get an answer, you question the answer, and then you answer the question, and you kind of do that to refine your knowledge. Crazy thing, I know, thinking and all that. You should do it while you're allowed to, huh? What's up, Cindy Avery? What are you doing? Sleeping Beauty, hypnotized by the spinning wheel and its needle, the needle that puts her to sleep for 100 years. Ah, yeah. I hear you. Ha 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 ha. I I was unaware of I mean everybody knows Sleeping Beauty, but I didn't register like what the beginning of the story was. I just know that she was sleeping. She took a nap. I didn't remember why. Do you think we just replay the same timeline? Well, maybe not the same timeline, but perhaps a similar construct in space. Like the reset would be like put the pieces like we're always playing chess, but it's not the same game. Perhaps maybe the game turns out different every time. There's no like dedicated final outcome, but we're playing on a similar board. Perhaps, I don't know. I mean, because if you make a different move right now in your life, you live in a different place. So it would affect the entire, butterfly effect. It's going to affect the entire timeline and everything else is going on. Groundhog Day, I think people live an awful lot of Groundhog Day. I mean, certainly I don't think there's anybody that hasn't noticed that more so now in the past couple of years, that there's a certain cog and going through certain patterns. I mean, I notice it in my life. I mean, I always have when I do, and some things are good that there's cycles, and other times, no, not good. Got to get out of those psycho cycles. Going, it's the same pattern. Do something else. Try something new. But now you're kind of it's almost because of things now, people are restricted, and so that's why they notice to the same patterns that they can't. There's nothing they could do to get out of the pattern. Like, could I go? Like, I could get out of the pattern of waking up early, having coffee, doing this, and chatting with you guys, but there's really nothing to do out there right now. Nobody's out playing. The things are closed. I can't. That restaurant's not open. That thing is. I could go over to the park and but that would be part of my pattern too. So this patterns are just more defined and people see it. I mean, people are creatures of habit, huh? What is going on, Melissa? And plus the winter too. That really staples someone's patterns. This is why people get, what is it called, seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression, or seasonal affective sad. They get sad during the winter. I mean, there's many reasons: not being outside, not getting sunshine, etc., etc. But add that into being, closeted, clustered up. Like the other day, I was like, I didn't even care it was cold outside. I was like, I just have to go outside. I get that all the time. I'm just like, I've been inside for a couple days. I mean, even though my window's open, I still get fresh air. I still, I was like, I got to go outside. I didn't have anything to do, nowhere to go, just stand around, stare at some ducks, go take a walk. I think that's a well underappreciated thing that people do. Well, that people don't do really, is just go take a walk. Like, where? And that's not the point of a walk. When you take a walk, it's not a destination. People that I know walk, they'll go to the park and they'll walk a lap or 2 laps. That's their thing. I mean, it's good that they're outdoors and whatever, but like, no. Taking a walk is just see where you end up. Just go start walking. And maybe you'll end up in the same paths. Maybe you'll get in these little grooves, but go walk somewhere. But where? Oh, people. That would add so much to most people's days, to their mind, the way they think, the way they feel, for certain. I mean, how many people do you know that just take walks? I'm not talking about people that take walks like take their dog for a walk or go on that. Oh, I'm gonna jog in the morning or I'm gonna walk in the morning, go around the block or whatever. No, I'm talking about just even that. What percentage of people? Not many. Oh. What's up, Cindy? Oh my, the teaching autistic cat. Oh yeah, you like my titles? Yeah, I've got a bunch of funny titles. The last few that I had, I didn't make the videos yet. They're still burning. They're on back burners in my brain. But I mean, I'm sure you know my other channel had a lot of pretty hilarious titles. Um, and truck drivers, no, they're already, look it up. They're already on the road, is what I'm saying. They're starting from all over the place. There's like three major starting points, and one is like the west coast of Canada, one's northeast Canada, and it's all, you know why it's happening, because the jabby wabber stabbies. And which is also going to screw up. It's screwing up a supply chain. We already had screwed up supply chains from the boats, and coming into harbor in the west coast, and that's happening. And then people being all crazy, buying extra toilet paper and extra food. That's screwing things up. Now this is happening. I mean, on purpose. Some of it is, I don't know. I don't know if this was somebody going, "Hey, let's just do this," or if they planned it in. Like you know it's going to happen. You don't force a population to do something and not expect the results. So this is, to what degree is what I'm saying, is it uh, controlled opposition? You know what I'm saying? Cindy, well, here's the thing: is there is on Telegram. I'd seen some. These are just like me and you people, as far as I know. I mean, certainly there's psyop agents and whatever, but there was somebody standing there filming for like 2 or 3 minutes, and it was just truck after truck after truck after truck, and they showed you where they were, and it was along the route, and there's like web page devoted to it, and there's it's in obviously the news is 90 some percent farce, made up malarkey, but that doesn't mean it's not occurring to some degree, is what I'm saying. That's what I was getting at. Like, okay, how much fuel, how many trucks can you really fit on the highway? Like, at what point is it such an overburden, overtaxing, that it couldn't occur? How many, you know, there's 50,000 people that are really about that? I mean, there's that many truck drivers? Because what I had read is that there's 30,000 truck drivers that cross the border every day. 30,000. I never thought it was that much. I mean, I knew it was a lot, but that's crazy, right? And that was part of the thing, is because crossing the border and to get stabbed or whatever. So they're not doing that now. So they're all going in one direction. So just logistically, the highway's only so wide that you can only fit so many things. So it just seemed like be over exaggerated, perhaps. 20 trucks tops. Tops, that's all. That's final offer, 20 trucks. That's what I got. I mean, the video I seen was 100 or so trucks. So, and I don't doubt it. Well, here's what I'm saying: is it's definitely inflated, but I don't doubt it's happening because it was unionized. So if you're either with the union or you're not with the union, and ain't nobody going against the union. So if the union was supporting, sponsoring, pushing this, then that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying everybody got on the road, but I think there's definitely a pretty large number. And even if not, if they're just trucks are just sitting where they are, you only need a couple. You need a few hundred to pull off. It's like, you ever seen a movie, and it appears as there's the people in the stadium, but they'll take and they'll have 100, 200 people pack one part of the stadium, and then they'll have them move, and they'll take pictures somewhere else so it looks like, and they only needed 100 people to show up to make it look like there's 10,000. I mean, there certainly is There's certainly the propaganda part, but then there's certainly not all the unions are for the the government oversight, impact, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, there's contracts in places, but there's contracts that work in another direction too, towards the what you'd call the free market, private businesses and things. There's still business that needs to be run. These people are, they're bound to a larger contract with the government in so many ways. But then they have business to run, right? If they want to make their money. So, in one sense, you got people that are. One sense, the union can be very disaffective. Is that the word, disaffective? For the people within the union, because they kind of set the standards for everything. And I've heard like places like Walmart and some other places that they unionized and it didn't actually help out the conditions or the employees. And other places, people swear by how much it helps them out. And I mean, if you look at plumbers union, electrical union, or whatever, they're like, this is what we make, this is what it is, ain't no way around it. They have less to do and they make more money, and they're like safety standards and whatever. So kind of goes both ways. We'll see. Well, good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Got myself a cane cola. Anybody had Bolin? Yeah. Cane sugar dog. This is the stuff. I mean, there still is some caramel coloring, but this is a really good cola. I don't really drink cola in the morning, but you gotta switch it up every now and then. See? Could change your habits. I don't usually eat breakfast, and I got up and I made a garlicky chicken for breakfast, and I usually don't eat until sundown really, and had Coke. Weird. Not something I would do, but give it a shot. See what's happening. What else were we getting into here? What else did I want to chat about? Oh yeah, just changing habits, and that's a major thing. Just by doing new things and just making little alterations in your life change a lot. Just here's the thing: is a lot of people think they have bad habits and they want to stop doing them, and the best way to get to stop a bad habit is not to stop doing it, but to change it for something else. You eat unhealthy. You don't stop eating. You eat something healthier. It's like, well, with calories, I'm going to keep the weight on. Well, that's no, that's not necessarily how that works. But just whatever it is you're doing, just change the habit. Like you're in a habit of you're sitting around playing a video game. Well, just go and take a walk. That's changing your habit, You're not going to just sit there and stare at a wall. Maybe you don't want to read a book. It's just trading things in. A lot of people try to go from 0 to 60, or, they have all these bad habits in life, and they're like, oh, I'm just going to, they read a book, and I'm just going to do yoga, and I'm going to eat healthy. And I'm like, well, you have like 60 habits that you can't just trade those. You can't just trade 60 habits for those two things that are healthy. You'll never do it. It's like you gotta back away slow. If you smoke 2 bowls of crack for breakfast, smoke one, and then do one that do something slightly healthy, and you'll make little baby steps. Isn't that what's that movie? Baby Steps. With oh man. The one that's edited, and if you edit it without all with Bill Murray, and you edit it, It's a horror movie. It's complete. What the hell is the name of it? But what about Bob? What about Bob? If you've never seen What About Bob, it's hilarious. But if you watch the edit somebody did to turn it into a horror film, it literally it's creepy. You'd be like, oh wow! All you do is change the tone, take the scenes and change them up a little bit, and put some goofy music on behind it. Cindy, you gotta make it to spring. Yeah, everybody, just make it till tomorrow. Just you don't gotta make it to spring. You just gotta make it to tomorrow, and then tomorrow make it to the next day. Spring. Well, my my motivation for you know kicking it and staying alive is Mardi Gras this year. You know, that's my motivation. If it wasn't for Mardi Gras, ah, I would have I probably just would have walked into the swamps and wrestled an alligator until it ate me. You know, that'd be a cool way to go out, I guess. Try something new. I never wrestled an alligator before. You gotta have some motivation. You gotta have well, it's an interesting thing, you know, to live in the moment, but then you have to have something to live for. You know what I mean? You have to have some sort of. It's a strange. It's the most dichotomous thing. You gotta have some sort of future. You have to consider what is over the horizon. What do you want? What do you desire? What don't you have now that you really, desire, feel as life? But at the same time, you have to be so in the now moment and so content with what you have that even if you don't get those things or it takes longer, you're good. You're joyful and content with what you have. You're appreciative of it. But you can't get stuck in that because then you'll be in that Groundhog Day kind of that feeling. Like, man, okay, I've done this 1,000 times. Are you bored of it yet? It's kind of like becoming a professional at something. There's nothing that I couldn't imagine what would be that joyful for forever. No matter what it is. I love cooking, but I don't want to do it every day, and I would get bored of it. I love there's all sorts of things I really really enjoy doing, but I couldn't. It would strain me to no end to do it every day. You'd end up hating it or having some sort of resentment. You say if you do what you love, you'll never work. You never have to work a day in your life. That's just not true. It's not true. There's all sorts of things that people love. Ask anybody that's in a business they love. Most of them, they love the money and they love the outcome and the freedom they get. But ask if they really love what they're doing. And they'll be like, yeah, but, there's still the stupid days, the struggles, the monotony. The monotony will that's a big thing that people, getting in that Groundhog Day, that rut of monotony, that'll suck the life out of anybody. You need to have newness and freshness and different experiences. Some people have they are so introverted and they like their they like their autism. They like to make sure they're OCD because their brain is wired that way. Well, it got wired that way. But if they don't go and turn the stove on and off 6 times, lock the door, flip the switch up and down, and double check something. And if they don't do that, they're gonna be anxious. They don't want that. They'd rather be comfortable. hello to all the weirdos and strangers in the background. You're allowed to type something in there and say hello if you want. What else are we talking about? What do you guys? Do you guys? Should we have a? Hey, who wants to have a drink with me? You guys want to have a drink? What are you doing, Zen? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Well, so what? Variety is the spice of life. Spices and yeah. But then again, that can be, and not to get it confused, having no regularity to something and having only variety, that is in itself a rut as well. To always need to have something new, to always have, to not have a, hey, you know what, I like on Saturdays to have mashed potatoes for breakfast, and you know, and I go out and see my friends at Ruby Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you got there is that, you got to have that, but you can't have that all the time. If that was your, you can't have that all the time, and you can't have, well, I don't know what's going on, let's just fly by the seat of your pants. There's got to be some regularity. There's got to be, because that the craziness becomes the tone. It's an art, it's a dance. Here's a beverage that I made. Well, it's from last night, so it's kind of. Let's see. Let's add to it with a spot of. Give me 1 minute. Let me get some ice and some cranberry juice and some vodka, and we'll get this party started. What is it? Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tequila Tuesday, but I don't have tequila, so it's Vodka Tuesday. Let's go. Give me 2 minutes. Oh yeah. Oh, Melissa, you doing a shot with me? Is something boiling? I have a fan on. Is it too loud? What's up, Yaki? What are you doing? There is. I do have a heater on. What's up? I don't know. That's not too loud, is it? You can hear me? Nothing is boiling though. You mean this sound? That sound was the the bubbling of my hookah. Yeah, I got a little space heater, cause it's a little chilly, and I keep my windows open, so I need to kick it with the space heater, and it's nice on my toes. What are we doing, Melissa? You ready? You ready to do the shot? You want me to actually do a shot with you, like a shot, like a shot? Let me clean this out. Shot glass. Where's the vodka? Where is it? Get over here. we have. Are you guys familiar with Finlandia? Some Finlandia today. I was drinking the Svedka, which I'm assuming is Sweden. I don't know why, but I'm assuming. And now we got Finlandia, which I'm going to go ahead and guess is from Finland. And you know what? I haven't tasted this by itself. I've only had it in a mixed drink, so let's find out. I think most people should start their day off with a glass of wine. If maybe a shot. Maybe, who knows? Not saying to maintain and drink all day, but perhaps the morning a drink is suitable for everyone. Loosen you up, be a little more comfortable with the day. Not so on edge. You know, everybody gets up and has their coffee and they get caffeinated and they're very edgy, and it's like maybe they need to do the opposite. Cheers to not being caffeinated in the morning. Having a drink doesn't mean get drunk in the morning. I like to stay somewhat buzzed all day, but that's just me. Mr. Mannion, what are you doing? Yeah, for you. So Dave can have a drink with me. Dave is, let's see, about 3 o'clock. About 3 o'clock where you are? Yeah, it's happy hour time, man. You're ready to go. You probably already started. So what's up? Did you do the moving thing yet? Because I forgot when I talked to you last. You know, I got a my Instagram. I'm on number 8 now. Like literally since I think since I talked to you last. So within the past 24 hours. Yeah. Yeah, Instagram does not at all appreciate me commenting to anyone. It's pretty funny. It's literally if I say anything that is, and it's never even that. It's usually somebody will say something rude to me, which I don't care because I'm not offended. They'll say something that's obviously offensive, and they should be, you know, why? How are they allowed to say that? And I'll say something back in proper. Witty response, and that gets tagged, and I get no. There's no warning, no nothing. I just can't use my account. They're just like, nope. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Okay. Well, that'll be right around. That's right around when the Major League Mardi Gras party starts. Melissa's moving in 3 weeks. Dave's moving in 3 weeks. Crazy. And I have another friend that is you guys know is perhaps moving in a week or two to. I believe Georgia somewhere. And another one of my friends coming to visit sometime during Mardi Gras, probably towards the end. So yeah, a lot of people moving around. I was just saying that. A lot of people moving. I had a couple friends just move last month. Yeah. Gotta shuffle things up. It's the great reset, man. Everything put the pieces in different places on the board. Dave, what are you drinking? What are you drinking? What kind of beer? Are you at home? And are you and what's up, Dave? Do you like have you got a worky shit lined up down there? Or are you flying by the seat of your pants? You got that that bank money from being a famous musician, and you got that You got that big bank account that you've been sleeping on? Just chilling, just relaxing in the sun for a little bit? Hey, does YouTube have does YouTube have a speech to text? Because that would probably work out way easier for a lot of people on here. So you could do speech to text, or if there was I'm sure there is something like a YouTube that you guys can like say something and then I can just hit the button and hear your audio. That would be pretty dope. So as I'm going through your comments, and says you typing it out, either you text to speech to text, either you speech to text, or I could just hit a button and hear what you have to say. That would be kind of cool. That could be, instead of having like a call-in show kind of thing. That'd be pretty dope. I like it. Yeah, I'm moving some boogies right now. Yeah, I don't really care. But picking my nose. I pick my nose. I pick my friends. I pick my pick my pick a piccolo, a pickle. Anyways, what the hell are we talking about? What kind of what's happening in the world? What's going on out there? What kind of subjects of what is of interest these days to people? Because it's like every day is the same in the sense of that one thing going on, but then there is the hot topic, the new news. But somehow lately, even the what's going on, what's trending, social media, it's so quick to go away, but it's always fundamentally connected to the whole thing that's going on. You know? Ah, cracking open that Polish beer, boy. Yeah, the other day I was doing a little research on I was doing some research on the amount of people that do prescription drugs, like because I was like, how many people are on drugs? I often, whenever I'm out and I deal with the person that's at the grocery store, or I talk to somebody, or see somebody on the bus, and whatever, I kind of I'm like, is that person's general demeanor? Like if we just get rid of, let's just say, okay, what is that person like on a regular basis? Just what is their personality, and how much of that is drug induced and influenced? Like when you see somebody and they're kind of like darty eyed and like weird, are they just that way? Are they just like crazy anxious people, or are they on some heavy meth or something? And I seen that I was doing some research, and about 50% of people do prescription drugs. About 50%. That's crazy. Now, again, as we got into it, I was like, some of those might be for pain management, which is a little different than psychological management. I mean, it does have effect on it for sure, but some of them might be for infection. Sure. But between that and people that are always smoking grass, smoking the ganja, or people that are, people that drink regularly. I think people that are high on weed or drink, I think it's a different category than people that do prescription drugs. I think people are wildly different. It's like personality enhancers. Like alcohol is a personality enhancer. Weed kind of stifles and muffles most people's personality, but in a good way, because some people's personality sucks. But then if your personality sucks and you drink, it's gonna suck even worse. Oh, you're saying prescription drugs don't agree with you? There's some that I mean I've taken somebody else's something at some point in time. I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. I've never since I mean when I was a child, I'm sure those were part of my life. I don't even know. I mean, I was getting uh, stabbed all the time with allergy medicines and this and that, and frequently at the doctors. They Munchausen the shit out of me. Like the mass Munchausens, the mass psychosis of the population of the world. It's overwhelming. Most people are either need to be on some sort of drugs, are on some drugs and maybe the wrong ones, and then you have people that are confused about who they are. You have people that are find a million reasons to can't identify with themselves, and then you got people that are taking all sorts of substances. You got people that are thinking they're sick when they're not. We've taken the only healthy people, the only sane people. There's a great um, talk by, I think it's McKenna, but it's called schizophrenia or shamanism, and saying how so many people that are apparently schizophrenic are shamans because they can see and dive into the other realms. Granted, there are certainly some people that are schizo and some that are saying completely they're cuckoo and they're off the walls. But I mean, there are many people out there that they just see the world slightly different, probably in a more correct way, and we label them all sorts of different things, and we put them on drugs. So the people that would be able to clearly observe the world and then relay it and explain it, they get put on. They gotta put in therapy. They gotta adjust their mind. We need to reorganize their thoughts. That ain't right. We gotta drug them. We gotta, yeah. What happened to those people? They don't exist too much anymore. Yeah, as much as I love some strains of weed very much. When it's a heavy body buzz, and it's not like excessively psychoactive. But I don't like the too many of them are too heady. People that smoke weed are like, oh, just give me the weed, I'll smoke the weed. I'm like, dude, you're an addict. Like, there's no everybody that if you smoke weed every day, you're an addict. I don't care what you say. It's just silly. Well, no, we have receptor sites for it. Yeah, you got receptor sites for orange juice too, bro. You don't drink orange juice every day. Gotta smoke weed every day. I mean, just accept it for what it is. If you use it recreationally or as part of your way of self-medicating, so be it. But don't act like it's not something that no, we're supposed to. You didn't wake up as a baby with a blunt hanging out your mouth and a bong. You're not ripping bong hits at 5. It makes no sense. No, obviously no judgments about anything. It's just take matter of fact. It's not an opinion based thing. It's not like I can't judge anybody. There's not too many people out there. I mean, they can carry around their judgments if they want. It doesn't change shit. You drink 3 cups of coffee in the morning every day. You're an addict. What can't be explained gets labeled incorrectly. Well, this goes into what I was talking about yesterday, and it's not that it can't be explained. It's that the people that are trying to explain it, or people that are trying to identify it, and whatever someone's mental hygiene, their attitude, the way they observe the world, it's because they themselves, the ones that are dictating and formulating what is the righteous or wrong way, they're already skewed. They're already drugged. They're already So you have to go, well, that's the wrong way to think. So what is the right way? We need re-education centers. That's the whole, like, how quickly psychology and psychology funnels into psychiatry, funnels into pharmaceuticals, and it's not healthy at all. Those people are completely psychotic. Yeah, it's like who is the decider of people's mental health? You'd have to have a baseline of a healthy standard and a healthy person, and we don't have that. In fact, standards have gotten mislabeled as normal. Like instead of saying that's healthy, what we've done is labeled normal and standard. Just because something's normal and we've standardized it doesn't mean it's healthy, and we've taken it and we've went backwards. Where healthy just meant healthy, and that's what you should be, healthy, and that would be normal. But because we have so many people that are not healthy, we've backtracked to say, if it was a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the pinnacle of health, but let's just say no one's going to be that. Let's start at, say, a 7. We say 7 is a good, healthy, okay place to be. 7. And what we have is now mental, physical, emotional hygiene, health, well-being is down to about a 5. But we say it's so normal that we've lowered the standards to say 5 is healthy and normal. Normal doesn't mean it's healthy. 7's healthy. So people that are deciding that 5 is healthy, they are already at the level of a 5. So who they can't even understand what a healthy thing would be, because they themselves are not healthy. It's like if you've been healthy, you can say, hey, maybe I'm not healthy right now, and I could see that. If I've been at a peak physical performance, and I could say right now, like, I'm not an idiot. I can't physically do things that I could when I was playing them or doing that sport. There's aspects of my physical health that are less than other aspects healthier, but I have that to go, oh, that I can understand what healthy would be. Where most people are already starting at a 5, so they think that's a normal kind of health, so they can't even perceive or conceive of what actual a decent normalized health would look like. So we keep lowering the bar, lower the lowest common denominator just keeps getting lower and lower. It's like the infestation mentally of idiocy, of stupidity, and how it's breeding. It's like I always thought that people could only get smarter, and it doesn't appear that way. It's not just that collectively that there is the bar has been lowered, but individually, going through someone's life, they're getting dumber. Like you look at somebody like, man, you used to be kind of smart, and now you're not. How did that happen? I mean, we can look at it in a very obvious way. Look at the health ministers for every country. I mean, just look at them. And if you can really tell me that they're any way, shape, or form some sort of beacon of a healthy standard, like, you can't say that they're mentally healthy, because if you're completely out of shape physically, then you're not in shape mentally. It goes hand in hand. Yes, you can get outside of bounds. You can be mentally fit and health and unhealthy on the outside to some degree, and you can there's obviously fluctuation, but as a standard rule, people that are completely, like, if you look at them, that is it's showing you something. Well, if you're so mentally fit, you know what's going on. You're gonna be the arbiter of health for this great nation, wherever you live. But we can see it as a physical thing. Physical thing. I'm going to listen to these people. They have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know. They think they do. They went to school because they learned something. But you can learn something but never do it or never be that. You can read all the books you want. You can learn all the stuff, but if you've never I had a coach for soccer growing up that never played soccer. He'd read the book and watched it, but he never played. So it was like a couple times I was doing something on the field, and he was like, "Oh, don't do that." I'm like, "You don't play this game. You can't see what I see. There's a reason I'm the best player on the team. I played this. I know what's good. I can see what I should do with the ball. You're standing on the sideline and think because you read some books. And this is what people do. They go, "Oh, well, I read all the books. I know all the things. I know the philosophy of it." I was like, "Yeah, but have you ever engaged with it? You could read all the books you want about French cooking. Go for it. And then you just out of nowhere, you read all the books, walk into the kitchen and cook me a French meal." If you've never been in the kitchen, you will fail at that miserably. There's like you know how difficult it is to really perfect the heat, the timing, the seasoning, the whole thing. Even if you read it, the first time you do anything, I don't care how good you are in the kitchen. If I try a new meal, first time I cook it is not going to be the best. I'm gonna screw something up. It's inevitable. Professional chefs will if you show them a new recipe, they know damn well they're not gonna do it perfect. There's gonna be something they need to adjust. Oh well, here. Oh, I maybe I should have fried it at a higher temperature. Oh, I need a different kind of oil. Oh, a million things that go into it. And then we got people out there that read a book and that have no clue about the actual doing of it. I think you call them armchair quarterbacks. Monday morning quarterbacks. That'll be my next show. All about armchair Monday morning quarterbacks. Why didn't he do that? And it's funny about coaches and people that like you're watching the show from the comfort of your seat on a wide angle lens that you can see the entire field, and you go, why didn't he just pass the ball there? And I'm like, are you sweating your ass off being chased down by 280-pound dudes that want to rip your skull off, and you have to make a decision in a fraction of a second, and having your visual focus here and only be able to see 180 degrees in any direction, and you have to run through this, and you can't see what's coming from, but you can see it, and they think they're going to make the decision that you would make sitting over there. People are insane. You're not in the position to even qualify what decision you would have made, because you didn't and you couldn't. And we're surrounded by people like that. Well, why didn't they do this? Hey, David Mannion, you said, "Oh, in Ireland, everything got lifted. Not as soon as you get a place and you're moving, and it's all lifted." You said 90% were still wearing the diaper on their head. And intelligence is blossoming. Yeah, but you know, I mean, when you instill that type of fear about the boogeyman, there's going to be residual. I mean, you get it. There's going to be residual leftover traumas. Crossing the street, you get hit by a car. I don't care if there's no one in the street. You're going to have a little bit of, for years afterwards, you'll have have that nervous, traumatic mental response to crossing the street. So, to a small degree, you can't blame these people because they're really under the belief system that, tragically, this thing, the boogeyman might blow them a kiss, and the Undertaker comes through and removes them from this realm. They might deal with a lot of pain for a few weeks and end up in the ICU or something. They have that belief. It's been instilled. They don't see that it's a played out joke. Okay. Because then if you say it's a played out joke, they go, you have no empathy, you have no heart. Like, oh, I certainly do. I guarantee I do. I have so much compassion, but I'm not going to be gaslit by these people to like, it's kind of like make you feel guilty walking through the grocery store, and they're like, you want to donate to cancer research? And I'm like, no, I do not. And they look at me like I've done something wrong, that I'm a bad person. You don't want to give, and then I'm gonna have this talk about how illogical it is to do it and how it's not going to anything but like you no, but then you get gaslit and looked at funny and like, oh, you don't care about people with cancer. Like, oh no, quite the opposite. And if I gave money to this, I would actually be encouraging people to be, cheers to that, huh? Yeah, I do have this curiosity as to the unfoldment of, the world is waking up, and there's so many caring and loving and beautiful people, and there's building communities, and they're getting involved in their health practices, doing their yoga and doing things, planting trees and trying to care for animals and better the world. Yeah, it's happening. People are being aware of the psychopaths and sociopaths running things. I mean, yes, this is happening, but equivalent. There's an equivalence to the amount of people that are getting sucked into that, becoming dumber, and it's like it's this weird trade-off. Like, you got some people that have been stabbed so many times, they're like, oh, this is ridiculous. What a stupid thing. I see now. But in relationship to that, there's more people that are walking into doing that. They're like, it's like a revolving door. and is there this golden age, or people coming out of the darkness and seeing the world for what it is, and just because you can see what it is, to involve yourself in a productive, healthy way in the world, and not be consistently confronted and with the mental terrorists and obviously the gangs of people, the cults of people that in the name of health and safety do harm to so many people. When do those people when did those people stop existing? How did those people either become educated, what they're doing is filthy and wrong? I think this goes into a question that I'd like to pose, is to how do we get people to stop lying? Well, it has to do with what people get as reward for doing such things, and do they gain any benefit? Is there a reward and benefit? And yes, there is, and it's tied into a system that you can leverage money and power, and because people lie all day for that, because it'll benefit them, and then thereby they'll say, well, I'd lie to benefit my family. Would you? So then your lie is then it's a good thing, right? And these people have that mindset. They'd lie to everybody else to benefit their family. So don't do that with everybody, because there's a reward for what's that? What is how many pieces of silver? You have to eliminate, like, for instance, the our false narrative and our false history only continues because someone that got lied to, it's in their interest to continue the lie. Even if it came out as a popular knowledge that say something that happened in the 1900s didn't occur the way that we thought, and it's come out that, well, no, actually it was something different. The books and the people that were there and experienced it, they're still going to tell the story as if, well, no, that's the lie. No. I got the really bad Spanish flu. My grandpa did. Did he? Did he really? Based on what? Even though we could look into the annals of history and see that there's something quite different than what we were told. But that lie will continue to perpetuate generationally, because there's a benefit to somebody not wanting to have been lied to and think that they're stupid, and there is history to be sold. History is bought and sold all the time. You have to make it not profitable. It's very rarely profitable to tell any type of you can tell the larger truths all you want. No one's going to listen. And people will go, congratulations, good job. That'd be nice. But there's no application of it, because it's not in the masses' interest to go along with that. They lose jobs, they lose money, they lose all sorts of things. Benefit, cost, reward, benefit scenario, lay it out, and what's up, Colin? Oh, no. See, that you're right. They're not willing, and you're not willing to give it up. But here's the thing: it's the perception. In reality, there's enough houses for everybody, more than enough. Right now, we could just eliminate all mortgages, all rent, all everything, and adjust everything, and everybody have a place to stay. So they wouldn't lose anything in the real world. You know what I'm saying? But in the idea that, like, if people just switch the lie off and go, what is the actual thing? The perception and the way reality is set up, you'd be giving up a lot of physical things. It's something. The simple statement is, you can't make a man believe something when his paycheck relies on him not knowing. You hear me, boy? You hear me now? You can't. You could present them with it. They could actually, inside of their head, know it. Know something. The truth. They could know it. But if their paycheck relies on them not knowing it, they won't know it. You think the guy making $1 million is gonna, the goofy, geeky guy that he's got the trophy wife, he's got the nice cars, he's got the cool things, and he eat all the places. You think he goes gonna trade in his life of luxury and cozy things and a warm place to stick his cockroach and something pretty on his arm and good meals and nice house and perceived respect from people? You think they're gonna trade that in for those things go away because you don't have the material items to flash around and trade anymore? You think they would give that up? Nope, not gonna happen. So I mean, and also the you know, when you trick somebody, and that whole thing is, it's easier. Excuse me. It's easier to fool a man than it is to convince him that he's been fooled. And that has to do with ego and not wanting to think you're stupid, right? So if they were fooled by everything going on now, and even if everything just across the board in a couple of years it's just like, oh no, it was all BS, there's going to be still a large percentage of people that said, oh no, that's not true. I got the thing. My auntie got sick from it and died. But then you go, well, here's all the information that says, well, that's not why it happened. And there was all of these other things going on. And in fact, it might not have been what you thought, but it was the fact that you were eating of the apple and getting stabbed all the time. And that was the problem. But people will not give that up, because then that will say they were stupid and lied to. And they don't want to do that. So they'll perpetuate even in the face of, truth goes through 3 steps. First, it's ridiculed. First, it's ignored, then it's ridiculed and laughed at, and then it's accepted as reality. Yeah, that accepting of reality is can that be put into place in the next generation of like people accepting the majority of your upbringing and the people that you trusted. Because here's the psychological trauma that people have not went through. That your parents are stupid. They lied to you. Some on purpose. Your government didn't tell you the truth. They don't love you. They lied to you. The cool car that you bought, yeah, that had the faulty brake lines. They didn't care to tell you. They didn't give a shit about you. That people have to accept. You've been completely lied to, and you ate it, and you bought it. And you have to go, well, I did, and I was stupid. Now I know. And that's the barrier for even if the whole world just universally said, here's the media, and then the media was like, yeah, we've been lying to you. The whole thing, it's all a sham. Doctors come out and go, yeah, we were misled, but this is poison. This is not good. And people come out, the teachers go, no, the history, the world history, and everything we've been teaching is completely false. We've been lying to you. Then you know how much. Then everyone that was underneath that delusion that they've been imposed upon, that they all of the people that they trusted lied to them. Now what do they do? Now how do they get to the point of going, okay, now we're telling you, now you have to trust us. Now you trust us to tell the truth, while we're telling you blatantly that everything was bullshit and lies. How do people make that? That in and of itself is a huge undertaking on a small level for individuals, right? If people have lied to you, and you got to learn to trust people, and because there's so much mistrust, so much, and you've seen it, and then you work out beyond that, and you go, okay, it's a new day. People are people, and on an individual level, that's tough. It's very tough, and we've all dealt with it to a degree. But on a mass scale, how you gonna do that as a species, as a whole generation? How about that? Hey, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna get some more ice for my. I hate I hate exaggerating and over exaggerating, under exaggerating. Not 2 seconds. I need about 2 minutes. I'll be back with you in 30 seconds. Hold tight. Okay, cool. Hello. I'm Zen. Who are you? What are you doing here? It's nice to see you. I'm having a drink. Would you like to join me? Do I think the majority of people want that? Um, Subconsciously, that's from the level of the way that we're born with no influence whatsoever. I think there's an equal amount of desire to be somewhat dominant, to dominate people, and a somewhat of a desire to be submissive to people. I think there's that feminine, masculine dialogue. It's kind of gender related and energetically related. That I think it's a happy balance. But as we don't really know about the influences of the teachings, the psychologists, the psychiatrists, the teachers, our parents, our religions, our governments, those things that we learned when we were children are become part of our subconscious, our psyche, that we can't really understand. Early life trauma, we don't get it. Well, how you weren't there for it, you weren't consciously aware of it, but it sat there. And so for most people, a huge people want to be controlled. They want to be submissive, because the alternative that they've been taught is freedom is fear. Freedom, that the tiger might eat you, that somebody might rob you, that you might get in a car accident, that all of the things bad will happen to you if you're left to your own devices. And that what you need is someone, the big brother scenario, the state, the mother, the father, to overlook and protect you from all things that are dangerous. And that the more that we can take corners away and put padding on everything, and the better it will be. And in a real world scenario, those things are true. You need to have a big brother and parents and comfort, and there shouldn't be corners and sharp objects. You don't have just knives and shit in your apartment on the floor. And of course you should, but that we've been told that that's just what it is. There's danger everywhere, and don't worry, you need this to protect you. And by doing so, you continue to feed off of milk, Moloch, MLK, the mother, the milky mother breast. That psychologically, that's what you need for your entire life, and that the protection is better than the freedom and venture, and the unknown. And in the unknown is always chaos, fear, terror, anxiety. That's built in by what they teach you. You would never think that as a child. When you see babies are not scared of, they're not scared of a lion. Babies are not scared of a snake. It's not. You're taught to fear. You're taught these things. These things are not implicit in nature. It's not a real thing. It's in some, yes, we can see in species. We're not going to go that deep into it, but the basic thing is there is no. It's built in psychologically later through traumas and through repetitive programming in puppies and humans and domesticated creatures. So with that being said, yeah, a huge deal of people would rather take the safety route. But in reality, you would take it if you were just born onto your own devices. I'd pick safety sometimes. I want a comfortable home. I want some fat titties to put my head on and rest on. But is that going to take away from the fact that, hey, if I could go out there with a sword and start swinging, we gonna find out. That's how it would be. But most people are not taking that route at all. The definition of the divine king, God, powerful man thing, that has been so stripped from us completely, including women, because women should have that to a degree. You see how fierce and protective mothers are about their children? And in most species, even more so than the male. That's a real thing, but it's been stripped out totally, completely in humans, from both male and female. So we don't have the warrior mentality aspect spirit, which is to do with protection and adventure and all that. Not even and that actually leads into creation as well. We don't even have that creative aspect, because creative aspect relies on finding something new. That's what creation is, something new. It's not reproduction of the same exact thing over and over again. That's not creation. That's redundancy. So yeah, complacency is complacency. Look at how much people prefer to, and everything goes into this too. That there's comfort in sitting down, staying inside, playing the video game, not being active, not being. People are becoming, in every cartoon, every movie, you see people just getting more and more complacent, fat of the mind. Not needing to use their mind, not needing to use their body, not needing to do anything but just, there you go. It's provided for. Go for it. Which to some degree, right, I think that should be there. Be comfortable. Enjoy your video games. Be a little chubby if you want. Sit on the couch. But you have got to have the other counterbalance to that, where your mind has to be active, your body has to be active. You have to have those things, because without that, you die. I mean, nobody really dies, but how else does life exist? Life is movement and energy, and it's interchange of things all the time. Once you stagnate it, it's and that's what people have become, too stagnated in the same systems, physically and mentally. What's up, Baba Ron? Bob Barang, Baba is it, Baba Booey, Baba Raranga. Babushkas, Babaranga, Babiuranga, Babaranga. What up, Skull? I've never heard that one before. Another new one that I haven't heard before. Babi Rabas, Baba Ganoush. What up, Baba Ganoush? Babylon, Baba Ganoush. Babbling books of Baba Ganoush. Imagine that if you went to if there was lakes, like in crazy movies where you go to a lake, and instead of being filled with water, it's filled with like Baba Ganoush, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But that was reality. We'll get there someday. I don't know that I'd want my rivers flowing with Baba Ganoush. Although, see, Baba Ganoush is something that can be really, really just so awful. But it's something that when it's good, it's really, really good. Smoked eggplant done right is really good. I never have a craving for it, but when you find it at the right place, you just go, what? It's one of those dishes. But you just find it so rarely done very well that it's I don't know. I guess most cities just don't have most cities don't have great Ethiopian, Middle Eastern restaurants. They're kind of popping up here and there. I mean, but everybody's gonna get your baklava and your gyro, or as Americans say it, your gyro, and get your lamb meat and all that. But as a totality, like, it's not the greatest versions. Bottle of cider, I'll join you. It's not cider, but I will break a fast. I'll break your fast with you. It's the name. It's the name of a benefits check. The Giro. Yeah, man. Cheers. Oh. Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been trying to loosen up my shoulders. I gotta go take a hot bath and yeah, loosen this up. Been tense. Yeah, baba ganoush and some gyro meat and some lamb with lamb chops with some mint jelly. It's pretty dope. Oh, I will remind people in the future, and if you're here now, there's always a way to donate to me. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. It's in the description box beneath. TsarXen. That's me. Keeps a roof over my head. Hopefully we'll hopefully along this journey we'll get to the place where we don't need to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll get there. There is a reality where the exchange of things is quite different. It's your boy Michael Tellinger, contributionism, Ubuntu. That's pretty close. Where trade is much different, it's on a different energetic level. We'll get there. But for now, I do require biosurvival tokens to get through my days. So if you want to, I appreciate it. How is it in how is New Orleans? The mask thing went in effect again, but I think they're doing it because it's that season and because it's almost Mardi Gras, so they need to ramp up the masky thing. So then as the numbers fall with that, then they'll undo it for Mardi Gras, which could go either way with what they're going to use that for. They're probably using it as an excuse to like re-mandate it again or something. Oh, see, everybody's all they're all sick again. I mean, it's silly and moronic because it just everybody knows why it is, but it's good. It's about to be Mardi Gras. Apparently I should have some visitors soon, some out of towners that you all know, but I will not say who it is. But if they get here, they're supposed to. It's a couple people supposed to show up in the next few weeks. If they do, we'll hang out. The waving you find hard to believe. Yeah, well, the UK is definitely they're doing it everywhere for a lot of reasons. Um, if we take the route of why I think why I've heard what I've heard, it's because they're replacing everybody in all of the governmental institutions, at least in the UK and the US. They're going to be replacing the actors. That's what I've heard, and for a good reason, for our benefit. So there has to be something going on there, or you remove them and then point at the media again and say, "Look at all the numbers went up. See, it was a bad idea," and then you redouble down on your efforts. That's I mean that's what's been going on for 2 years, huh? With the goofiness. But I have it on pretty, somebody that I really respected what they said, and they didn't say that it's just their opinion. They didn't say they were just thinking this. They were legitimately saying they said within a week to 10 days. So by the 30th that you'll see the almost the whole of DC and the whole of the UK government and replaced. That's what they said. So we'll see, because their premise, they said it came from good standing sources, which to me just says they're just replacing the actors. Nothing's going to happen to these people. That must be understood. And who cares? Because they're just actors. Anyways, I don't give a shit. But they'll be replaced. So he's got a couple days to be wrong. It'd be nice if he's right. Yeah, driving around with the mask on. It's what can you say at this point? What can you really, when I see people in buildings and things, I could understand perhaps their mentality, but when I see people outside walking around in a park or in a car, like I could understand if they're leaving a store and they have the thing on because they had to, right? And they didn't want to, they want to go through all that whole mess, right? And I could see for a moment or two outside, you're going to your car. I can understand that to a degree, because you're not going to be always mentally there, aware, and just that's first thing in your mind. I gotta get this diaper off my face. But when people are doing it in their car, driving by themselves, they're gone. I mean, they're literally they're lost. Like, I know someone that is a very scatterbrained person that had left their mask on in a car, and I just was like, "What are you doing?" And like, "Oh," because it was kind of like somebody that wears glasses and they're like, it's on top of their head kind of thing. It just becomes such a standard practice. Like they work at a job that they need to wear this, and so it's become a habit and a custom, and so they don't even notice it really. That I see, but not these people sitting in a car by themselves driving around. At that point, they're lost. They're gone. They're not really even. Can you even classify them as human anymore? Really? Whatever that is. They're mankind. They're not even. Yeah, Colin. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. Part of me is exactly where you are. It's like you don't even know how dumb you are and how you're causing more problems by doing that, like for yourself and for everybody else. And then, but then I'm equally in the other thing, and I can't get drowned in either of those. I can't be like, oh, look at this idiot. I mean, that's the only funny thing I could do to at least go. And then the other part of me, I would just cry all the time. Like, really, how bad is it? Like, how fearful are you of the world? How, somewhere between dumb. It's kind of like Lenny, you know. It's like when he walks up to his buddy Lenny, at the end of the, hey, if anybody doesn't know the story of Mice and Men, anybody know Lenny? I don't want to be giving anything away here. But when he's like, basically because Lenny is just too stupid for life, and he just blows his brains out. That's the book. It's pretty much what I got out of it. These people, I feel like, like a horse breaks its leg. What is the humane thing? What is that? What you see somebody? They fall into a leaf, a tree. You ever worked on with trees, and you got the wood chipper? Somebody gets into a wood chipper, they lose their legs and their arms. What do you think the really good thing to do? What do you think the heartfelt? Well, isn't it to just stop the pain, and what you do for a horse? What you do? Isn't that what you do? And these people, I don't think it's any different. I think they're mentally spent. I don't even know if they're mentally there. I mean, how much joy could there be for them in their life? You ever see these old people like, I'm just waiting to be out of here. Just give me the good drugs. I don't care. So these old people are just sitting around, zonked out on all the meds and whatever. And in one sense, I'm like, good for you, because what are you doing? What are you adding to the collective? What are you adding to the world? You're not negating anything. You're just sitting there. You're just watching your TV shows, and maybe you're feeling good. Maybe your mind and everything. You're on another planet for real, taking the good drugs. Maybe they figured something out. It's like being in an opium den, huh? Yeah, to be aware that you're depriving yourself of, but then that's the catch-22. Then their brain's not working, so they can't think. They don't even see that. So then it's just a compounding thing. It is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, then you got the kids that's having the kids, yeah. Oh, I mean that, and whose fault is that? It's not really the teachers, because they're just as controlled, manipulated. They don't know any better. The parents don't know any better. I mean, where is someone held accountable? Who could have known any better? You'd be like, the information's there, but yeah, how much information? What do they got to dig through? How did their brain already didn't work? Do you expect the fool to become wise just because the information's there? It doesn't mean they're going to be able to do it, to figure it out. It was just an IQ test. Yeah, I mean, I would hope. I mean, in some ways, sure. I mean, I have a friend that didn't necessarily believe in it, but then was encouraged to take a test, and then said that they tested. Well, they failed the test by being positive, and then they believed it then. Which is weird, because they seen what the narrative was. They thought it was but then I was like, why would you take the test? What is it going to prove? Like, are you not feeling well? And if you're not, then do the things that you already know that will make you feel well. You don't need somebody to tell you. If I got a runny nose and I'm sniffly and I got some boils and I got a little skin rash, you know what I do? I go, guess what? Not doing too well. I think I'll do the things to fix that. I don't need to go and double. I don't need to go double proof it. If I got acne, well, I should do the things to fix the acne, huh? I don't need somebody. I don't need to go to the doctor and be like, hey doctor, what do you think? They're like, yeah, you got acne. Oh, so I've been eating too many greasy foods, too much cooked this and that. Yeah, you're like, yeah. You know how to fix that? Oh yeah, we got this pill over here. They'll do this. I'm like, do you know a different way to do it? Hey Skull, you got a friend coming down in 10 who is a Hare Krishna? Haha, there's down the street from me every Sunday the Hare Krishnas do free veggie meals. They're pretty cool. Although it was funny because I asked the Hare Krishnas if they knew who Krishna was. They didn't know. I thought that was funny. You, play some video pool? What you mean play video pool? Like on like video game? Like on here? Or are you going to go out to a bar and do it? What are you talking about? Well, people do. Hey, Colin, people identify with their sickness so much that they need. You ever see those people that are like, oh, I'm on this drug and this drug and this pill and this pill, and it's almost like a badge of honor. That's their identification. It's like they want to be, so that people can feel sorry for them. It's an attention. It's to gain attention. You know, when you were a kid, if your parents didn't give you much attention, and then when you were sick, they gave you attention. You know what you would do? You'd feign towards being sick. You'd always, oh, not feeling well. Then, oh, how are you doing? They would treat you nice and give you attention. So these people, they want attention. They want to something. They go, oh, sympathy. Here's sympathy. That's what they want. So they'll go out of their way to figure out that they're not feeling well, and they'll placebo themselves all up. They'll Munchausen themselves. You're the victim. Yeah, the victim. But see, they don't even see it that way. They don't know that. That's the dilemma with people that. Here's the thing: is people don't know they're playing the poor me victim. I need validation, and I need mommy and daddy to pay attention to me. I need to be. I need somebody to recognize me. I need compassion. They're not seeing that. They don't see it that way. They're not making that. They don't have the mental capacity to see that's what's happening, and that's why they do it. They don't have that self-awareness, and there's no reason that they should. I mean, there's many reasons they should, but there's no reason through their life experiences that would just like crop up and they would figure that out. No one showed them that. No one told them that. No, and people that you say, you know why you're doing that, and they're gonna be like, no, I'm just really not feeling well. Yeah, okay. What's up, Shadison? What the hell? Is this the Shadison I think I know? What the hell? What was your, didn't you have a channel? Ain't you that chick that used to play on the computers all the time? Is that you? Yeah, the purpose is it's energy. They get the exchange of their energy by not being, if they're just walking around and being healthy, they don't feel like they're getting fed anything. They're not getting attention. Count the poor me. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Growing up, I did that for attention. I didn't really. Well, I see. It's hard to say because I got enough attention doing the things that I was good at doing, you know, playing the games, and I got enough attention so that was fine, and I had, you know, friend groups and whatever, so I didn't really need to. But then there was definitely times where, you know, play the, oh, I'm not feeling well, to get the, and people, you know, you seek validation and approval from your parents, but that validation and approval, you don't understand what that is. You just want the attention that seems like they're being nice. And my parents, that was that, you know, I was a piece of hog manure and not a good person to them, and they would treat me as such unless I was not feeling well, and then it was, oh, what can we do? You know. Well, yeah, they definitely learned mastered the art of negative human emotion, and how to. Well, the problem is, and then how to harness energy from it is that they push it out there, and then they succubus off of it, rather than it's organically going to happen, and feel free to take from negative or positive experiences, but they push the negative energy so much so that they can reset the energy levels for themselves from that. You know, they push out the fear, which causes response mechanisms. Yeah, of course it's easy to do. There's an easy way to make somebody fall in love with you. It's you show them all the attention, then you immediately take it away, and they're confused, and then you go back and give them attention again, and then they're rewarded. They go from, oh wow, it's a cult, a psychological thing, attention, and oh my gosh, I feel so loved and wanted and adored and liked, and then cut it off, and they go, oh, what have I done, and why am I like this, right, and then all of a sudden, then you give them the back. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Here's the attention back, and then they've gone through a whole emotional roller coaster, and you control that. That's what the controlling mechanism of the sociopaths do. Now, if you've been in relationships before, you might have been the one doing that, or you might have had that done to you unknowingly. You just some sort of learned behavior or whatever. But the controllers, they know what they're doing. They've been doing that for years. Skull, the sneaky shit is too complicated. No, I'll help you. This is why I unveil. I don't reveal things to people. Revealing is to reveal, to put a veil over it again. Unveiling is I try to make it easily understood. They're using a lot of very simple mathematics. It's simplicity that they're using, but they use it in such a large and dynamic way, meaning they're using so many different systems of importing a positive and negative response, ones and zeros, an up and a down, a left and a right. They have so many systems doing that, it looks confusing, but in every single system, the same mechanism takes place of addiction, consumption, fear and consumption, which equals an addictive thing. And then addiction is confused with, well, I mean, there's a dopamine. There's a dopamine response happening. There's serotonin happening. There's chemical things happening, but it can happen through where's my cheese at? Where's my reward? Reward in a video game, reward pornography, reward sex from your wife, reward, and then no, 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 I'm not, oh, not today, and oh, you lost this game, and oh, you're not good enough. That's the mechanism, and by pulling the strings in both ways, you're just like ba 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 ba, and people just follow along with that, and they get addicted to that. So that addiction then looks like love or something, and it's not. It's just manipulation. The major cleaning house is taking a shit. Speaking of taking a shit, I gotta piss. Give me a second. It's why you say take no shit, or people that are full of shit, or your gut instinct. These things are that's where your dantian is. That's where your bowels are down here. There's where everything starts. You clean that out, and people they're more sensitive to what's going on in the world, and they recognize it a lot easier. Other people do not, because they're too padded from reality, and they yeah. Hey, Skull, enjoy your pool game with your friend from the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I gotta piss up right back. Mmm. Mmm. Taste that salty breakfast that I just had. Ugh. Yes, I drank my piss. Not too much though, because it was funky. Yeah, Dave, I think you've told me that before. I totally forgot. I know you had. I didn't realize what the whole thing was. I'm sure I was probably half loaded when you told me. That's awesome. Oh, there was somebody on here that a while ago I told that I want to do a urine therapy documentary. And I know there's really not much to talk about it from the standpoint of, you know, what to do, how to do it, and what the science is. It's pretty simple. But I wanted to try to get a bunch of y'all together and do like just like a little, I don't know, like a little chitty chatters, and then people talk about it, how long they've done it, da 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 da, and then put together like a whole, I don't know, little documentary about it. Could be cool. And see, because there's none really out there. It's a couple short ones, and like one person talking, and then there's like the, what you see on the TV. You got that one chick who addicted to. She looks like she came out of a can of tuna. She looks like she eats the same thing cats eat, and then they put her on My Strange Addiction on TV, right? To give it a whole bad look. Like, that's what the association is. Oh, you drink piss, so you must be like her. And I'm trying to get the people that are not like that. You know, the Jim and Awake right? You know, those kind of people. They're like, holy shit, how are you 6'4" and completely a beacon of health? And you know, like Dave, you're good looking, intelligent, well spoken. You fix something in you, and because of like those kind of things. So I kind of want to put that together. So if you guys want to, let me know. Trying to organize it. I was organizing it a while back, and then my Instagram got shut down. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Yeah, I don't know why I forget. They just reminded me a couple days ago. They're like, you still trying to do that? I was like, yeah. I was like, I totally forgot about it because because everybody I knew about through UT that I knew on Instagram. That's how I had the connection to them, and I was just like, I mean, obviously on here I know you guys, but it's hit or miss when you guys show up, and it's only a certain number of you that are really like hardcore and really know what's up. Like so other people on here have, and they drank their pee here and there. Well, yeah, I'll try. Well, I mean, if you down, Dave, and some, I'll try to organize this soon enough. I mean, I guess it's just a matter of really just doing the legwork and getting a piece of paper, and be like, okay, here's who I want to talk to, and here's how we want to line it up, and do like the simple 10 questions, and then what's your experience, that kind of goofy shit, but that's what it is. It's kind of like Andrew Norton Weber's Aquarius the Water Bearer, and everybody on there that was drinking distilled water. It's kind of that, but turn it into a documentary with just, I want to do it about distilled liquids, but specifically I want it to be towards, Shivan Boo Dog. Because like, there's enough people out there that have already said drinking juice is a good idea. There's already documentaries on drinking water and fasting. Whether people buy into it, believe it or not, it doesn't matter. But there's no real documentaries out there of people that are like hardcore piss drinking fools. I'd love to get some raw milk, man. Oh, funny enough, you know what? That's funny, Dave. You said that because early this morning, your boy asked me about he had a tooth that was that he had chipped or something, and he wanted to regrow it. Who the hell was it? Dude from South Africa. What the hell's his name? Why am I tripping on his name right now? He was he came to the Zooms all the time, and he's on my shows once in a while. What the hell's his name? Anyways, he just asked me this morning, and I didn't even think I didn't think about the goat's milk. Never made that association. But yeah. And I got I funny enough I've got one broke here, I got one missing over here, like, and they're all from like early life, like by the time I was like 25, because my diet was so awful. One I chipped on a cherry pit, and the other was an olive pit, both of which were supposed to have no pits in it. Bit down, cracked a tooth. Fucking terrible. But anyways, yeah, I would. But since then, I mean, I wouldn't mind growing them back. I mean, I've heard using the Melissa. Was it lemon balm? Lemon balm, Melissa. Now, okay, so aged urine, lemon balm, Melissa, raw goat's milk. I'm just walking through this right now out loud. She Legit, and I think those will work. And urine and oil pulling probably are the best things. There we go. from opening bottle caps. Yeah, actually, funny enough, I used to, just because it was funny, and people were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I would eat glass, and that didn't do anything. That didn't fuck my chompers up. It's after I seen David Blaine do it, and then looked up what it was, and then realize, and it is basically like, it's not a trick. You just have to commit to it, just like walking on hot coals. And so like there was a couple times I was out at a bar and somebody broke their wine glass or something, and I would just pick up a shard off the table, and they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" You know. It's kind of like, I don't know who's seen some of my early one of my earliest videos. I think the earliest video that you ever seen my stupid head on camera, where I put a chopstick in my, what's that thing called right there? The spot right beneath your, is it called your clavicle? And your that thing right there where it's like no good. You're not supposed to put anything there. And I took a chopstick and broke it. That was like when I was like I was like, let me see what these idiots out here are doing. I have all this chi power and whatever, and let me see how to do these stupid things. Mm. Oh man, Dave, the last time I did a really crazy fast was when I was living in no, not North Carolina. I was living in Indiana, and it was in the middle of the summer, and I did a 7 day fast on water and piss, and all I did was sit out at the pool for hours and cover myself in aged urine and drink urine. And that I had I did some writings on it in my WordPress, and I was getting like legit visual downloads. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And then when you tell people that you do this, and then because they're like skeptical about things, they go, "Well, then why don't you just keep doing it?" I'm like, "Cause you can't. You would literally blast off to another realm, or it would just you can't. You wouldn't exist the same way. You wouldn't exist here the same. Maybe not even here. It's like consider like if you have a budget of $1,000 a week, you live at a certain lifestyle. Now, if you're all of a sudden given a different level of money, you ain't living in the hood no more. I don't care about what you think about your connection and mentally and energetically. If you drink your piss and sit in the sun and get on that diet and you stay on that, you will not be the people that you knew won't know you no more. They won't be able to. They won't be on your level from a vibrational standpoint. You won't be able to interact with them. They won't understand you. So people will be like, "Well, why didn't you keep doing it?" Well, if I kept doing it, then you wouldn't be talking to me right now, is the point. You have to ground yourself back out. You have to ground yourself back out, or else you will, like, look at who I'm sure everybody on here knows Grim Nasty. Watch his recent stuff. He's been going crazy all out on lots of turpentine in his eyes, in his feet, and he's Kundalini. He's been doing some crazy stuff, talking about emultating, or what is it called when you set the human body on fire? and he's literally like showing you his skin in different parts of his body, and talking about like the electrical and the fire going through his system, and like showing you how his skin's changing. Now, in one sense, you say the dude's crazy and doing things that maybe are not so good and not so healthy. But from another level, he's like talking through it and walking you through it, and like he's like, dude is about to literally blast off to another realm. So then you go, okay, well, why didn't you do that? Well, because then I wouldn't be able to explain to you how any of this practice works. So like, luckily for him, if he keeps going with the videos and shows people, if he does dip off to another realm, you still have the videos left. Yeah, there's plenty of times that I've been on some higher level something, and interacting with people is just it's a doesn't you and you'll see different things. You'll literally interact different, and it's fine. I mean, if you want to, go for it. But then there's also getting used to rarefied air. If you're not used to the climate, if you're not used to the type of interactions and the energy, you gotta drop back down anyways. Right? Like right now, if somebody just changed my financial status and gave me a bunch of money, would I move? Not immediately, 'cause I know better. Would I just go spend it all on and put myself in an environment that I'm not familiar with? That would be equivalent to if I were to just go, oh, somebody gave me just a shit ton of money, and I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm set. I would not just go buy a Lamborghini and live in a mansion in Beverly Hills, because that would be a completely different energetic thing of people, money, ideas. The whole thing will be wildly different. And would I adjust to it and become accustomed to it, and would I want to? This is the same thing as mentally. If you're on a different wavelength, if you just jump up to different octaves, you're not going to be used to it. It's not that it's good or bad. It's not that it's bad by any means, but you just wouldn't be used to it. You'd be like, all right, ground out. Dave, I never knew that. You have to you couldn't communicate with anybody. Spent a do you mean like fully you were like in like talking in tongues, or you just mean the way that like the way that I talk? Some people are like, what the hell is he talking about? Because I talk in a very interesting way. I assume that some people are like, I don't understand what you're saying. Or are you saying you were just like, I don't know this is not working, and then you really were eating moss and tree bark? That's hilarious. Colin, right now as much as I've put it out there, and that's what I tell people to do, it's for a while it was a lot. It was a few times a week to every day. And then, over the past couple of, years, I might not drink piss for months, 2 months. I might, a month. I might not. And then sometimes I'm like, all right, I got to get back on it, and I'll drink my piss for 3 days straight. And obviously magically wonderful, healthy things happen. But to stay on it, I just don't always. I don't. Sometimes you see, I go out and I party. I do the damn thing. I get up and I'm okay feeling like kind of sloppy and messy. I'm kind of like enjoying eating the shit. I'm like, okay, I'll get on it tomorrow. It's just like that. I mean, the good, healthy, wonderful thing would be to at least one of your passings of piss a day is probably a great idea. Colin, you tried it for a few mornings in a row and it didn't make any difference. If you did it for a few mornings in a row, you gotta consider what else was your diet. What else are you eating? Were you eating during the day? Because that's gonna throw the whole your chemistry off. Let's just make it easy. It's gonna throw your chemistry off. Like for me, I notice a huge difference because I don't don't consume solid food, and I'm used to, and my body has been. Let's try it this way too. My body has been clean enough that a small amount of any substance, whether I smoke a joint or take a little bit of mushrooms or whatever it is having a profound effect. That I'm very sensitive to things. Where if my body's out of shape and it's clogged up and it's a mess in there, you got to take more of something, and so the chemical balance of your body would be altered. If once you know what it feels like to of the energetics of urine, once you know what the feeling is, you'll notice it. And once your body is in an okay state of being, like doing it in the morning might do something to your health overall, but you might not having you're not gonna just like, oh, that's like smoking a joint and now I'm high, or eating mushrooms and you're it's not gonna have that effect just because you did it a couple mornings in a row, especially if you're eating the rest of the day. Yeah, I would say just try to do it for try to do it for a day. try to and don't eat, but consume. Eat a soup. Have drinks. Juices, whatever, but don't have anything solid. Try to stay away from solids. That way, your body, you know, it's easier digestible, and that way you can get through a couple days of it. And that is, as you're adding more anything, acid or alkaline or whatever is going on in whatever the chemistry is of urine, whatever the chemistry is of smoking weed or as your body cleans up, it's going to have a quicker effect on how, your reaction to it. Haha. Well, I noticed that if I'm depressed, I don't want to drink my urine, but I also know that if I drink my urine, I will become not depressed. I'll get towards. But here's the thing: is once you're in a state of depression, you know the feeling. You want to stay in it. Somebody's like, "Oh, come out, go outside, you'll feel better," and you know goddamn well that if you go outside and put your feet on the earth and you walk around and you breathe some air and you get some sunshine, you will feel better. But you know what you don't want to do? You don't want to do it. You're like, no, I like the darkness. I want to be in my bed, and you have that. It would be a struggle. I'm gonna go shower, put some clothes on, walk outside, and you don't want that. Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing: is I made a ton of videos on that. When you're depressed, you want to be in deep rest. So I think it's a healthy thing to immerse yourself in your depression. Don't deny it. If you deny depression, you're going to be depressed longer. It's not a good move. I'm depressed as much as anybody else. But because I don't find it to be a non-human characteristic. I don't find it to be something that's wrong. That it's just a way. It's just part of the ebb and flow of. Sometimes it's bright and sunny out, and sometimes it's dark and take a nap. Sometimes I want to go do something. Sometimes I don't. That if you immerse yourself in that, you can appreciate it. You can appreciate the fact that you were sleeping. You can appreciate the fact that you know. People try to deny depression and try to avoid it at all costs. It's not always the right thing to do. Yeah, there you go. That's a good way of saying it, Dave. You got to love your depression. Not in the way that people think what love is, but you have to go, okay, that's me. I feel that way. It's like I love feel a little horny. I love feeling cold sometimes. I like feeling warm. I like feeling like I want to play video games. I like feeling like I don't want to do anything. I like feeling like motivated, and I want to go out. I want to clean. I want to clean my room. I feel like I want to go and whatever it is, immerse. I think immersing yourself in it is what love might be. There you go, Colin. I think you summarized it. Denial is a big problem with the world. It is a denial of what we are feeling in any moment seems to lead to a general fakeness. Yes, the denial, and avoidance leads to even more of a problem. And it's because we don't want to seem weak. We don't want to seem like, it's like when people are on camera and you're like, oh, they're so funny, they're so intelligent, they're so da-da. Do you think that's them off camera? Do you think that's what, somebody in Hollywood, that's what they're doing all the time? You think how they act? No. And even the people that are doing shows, like, do you think they don't have another way of being and shit about their life? Certainly they do. Just you go out sometimes and you're like having a good old time, and you go home and you're like, fuck this shit. As long as you accept it, it's not weakness. You have to just go, okay, that's the way I feel. You can't just go there and fight it. No, I need to be happy all the time. The idea of these teachers that say, put yourself in a state of being so that you'll receive your rewards of whatever in the future. What they're saying is, yeah, you're depressed and you don't want something, but you're in a state of not feeling well, whatever. That's fine. You accept that, but simultaneously you go, but in a week I'll be feeling good, and what does it feel like to feel good? And then you put yourself there mentally. Doesn't mean that you're gonna right away be out of that. It doesn't mean you're gonna be that right there, but you still accept and acknowledge your feeling for what it is. And if you don't, you slip back into it all the time and not know why. I'm going to go get another drink. How do you feel about that? I think I feel pretty good about that. Maybe you want to join me. Who's joining me for a drink? You? How about you? How about you? You want to join me for a drink? Cool. I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes. Y'all better be fixing yourself a beverage. Do it. Do it. Okay, back. Colin, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's states of, well, yeah, the states of what do you think and what would it feel like if, and to play out scenarios and have different types of uh, feelings and emotions that cause you to perceive different things. What would it be like? And then play out some of those. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. You have 3D. I think that's what you have the body for. That's what it's there. That's why you can't. When you do it on the mental, when you do it in the mental plane, um, there isn't quite as much to win or lose from doing it. You can run a bunch of scenarios through your mind as much as you want, and you'll have a little bit of feeling and an idea about them. But the three sense reality, this whole physical thing, gives you a little more. It's a little more. It's kind of like gambling. If you had $1,000,000 and you were gambling at the $100 table, not much to win or lose. But if you were gambling and you're just like, all right, you're going all in every hand. It's kind of that. It's kind of going in all in every hand. What did you say? Zen is definitely Drin. What do you mean? Oh, you were gonna say drinking, or drivel? Come enjoy. We're having a beverage. Drinking some beers. Yeah, I need I think I'm gonna switch it up here. I've been drinking well, I drank wine the past couple days, but what I realized is it's not, cost effectiveness is not there. I like drinking wine, but cost wise, it's not really any cheaper. And I've been drinking vodka, which is the cheapest, cost effective. But I want to get back to some beers. I just haven't had. To drink anything that I like drinking, somewhat prohibitively out of my budget. So, cheap wine or vodka is the way to go. Vodka, far and away, is the cheapest thing. What's up, Ninja? What you doing? What you doing, Ace Boogie? Salutations. I feel like I've maybe been doing this in sepia too long. Maybe we should just go to. What? No. I see. I need better lighting to put it in this one. That one's black and white's no good. What a docu. It's a documentary. It's a documentary. Oh no, that's no good. Dawn. The 8 milli is cool. I like that. Beam. No, see that kind of yellows it out too much. Nope. Too blue. Bluish yellow. Nope. Let's see what we got here. See what the hell happened here. Okay, so remember I was telling you the other day that I had the dance club thingy? It's not on here now. They got rid of it. It was on it. It was on my thing the other day, and then they removed it again. Bastards. Okay, we're doing 8mm. Ha ha ha. You sitting in your yard trying to get sunlight on your balls? Yeah, man. I used to have this house down the street, and our window was positioned so perfectly that in this one part of the day I could lay on my couch in my house because like there's nowhere really convenient to have your nuts hanging out in your yard in New Orleans. Some people got, but the houses are too close together and yeah. But anyways, the sun would be perfectly. I could just lay there and it would just be this beam of light, and it wasn't a big enough beam of light, but it was hilarious. I could just lay there, and it was like the only beam of light in my just on my balls and cock, and it was like that's where all the warmth was, and I was like, rad. I could feel the energy charging up in my system. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It's pretty badass. Yep. Yeah, see, I mean, I don't really care that much, but when you never know how weird your neighbors are between being creepers and being like the I'm offended. You kind of it's hard with neighbors. Dave, yours is beer. Oh, we've had this before. We've had this discussion before. Has everybody else had this discussion with me before? Um, Beer, wine, or liquor? What do you go with? Rest of your life, you can have no beverage other than well, you can have any beverage you want. You can have your fruit and your water and shit, whatever. But for alcohol, wine, beer, or hard liquor. What do you choose? What do you choose? It's a tough one for me. You'd take beer too. Um, every time that I think about this, um, I don't know where I put cider in the thing. I don't know how I put if I would align cider with beer or mead would still be beer, I guess, but then cider would have to be beer, and that would change my mind a little bit. But and I love wine. I'm a wino. And does port wine, even though it's mixed with alcohol, go to the wine category or the liquor category? And there's some of my favorite kind of middle. I can't really tell what they are. I think mine would almost certainly be hard alcohol, and not because I like it the best. I like wine the best. I'm a wino, but across the board, wine is fucking wine. Thus, you got port wine and ice wine, and those are my favorite, most delicious. I love wine more than anything, by far. But the variety of wine is so slim. Like you really got white or red, and I don't care if you're a sommelier. Wine is fucking wine. But with vodka, gin, whiskey, all wildly different, and by themselves wildly different. And I got all the mixers. So you ain't no mixers with wine, and it's not that it doesn't deviate too much in flavor. So I would go with yeah. What's up, Amenfar? How was the date? No, there was no date. No date happened. However, the strangest thing happened, though. Um, the strangest thing happened. The date didn't happen, but two chicks that I know, one that I know from online, and one that I know online, but I've known them in person. I know them in person. I knew them in person before on here or Instagram or whatever. And they both, out of the blue, were like, one of them was like, yo, I want to come see you in New Orleans, da da da. And the other person basically was like, they were moving this way, and I was like, yeah, I want to come see you. in the same day after this other date fell through that had nothing to do with anything. It was just some random chick that I was like, I don't know. And two chicks that, like, one that I've known for a long time was like, yo, I've been having dreams about you. I want to come hang out. I want to see you. This other chick was like, yo, I'm trying to dip. I want to come see you. I was like, what the hell? So there, I traded in one rando for two possibilities. David Mannion. you want you want you want to get me beers? Fuck yeah, man. And yes, they will. Do you have you should be able to do it from anywhere, I guess. Download Drizzly. DRIZL, like grizzly, like drizzly. DRI wait. ZEY? Drizzly. TRIZLEY? There we go. Drizzly app. And that's all local places around here that deliver, and the delivery fee is mad cheap. And yeah. And the price, and there's a lot of places that cheap prices. So if you want to, yeah, fuck yeah, buddy. I will happily accept your offer. Chablis is good. I mean, and back to the wine thing. I thought I would drink. I would, again. It's, if I said it's a whole lifetime, it's got to be hard liquor, because there's more varieties. There's so many things you can do with it. But if it was like a small window of time, if you're like, all right, next year of your life, it would be wine. I would just choose wine. I've been a perfectly happy wino for a while. Yeah, he was drinking port through Christmas time. Yeah, I I can also appreciate wine in cold weather scenarios. A good red wine, that's my jammy. Of Cabernet Franc. A good Cabernet Franc is where it's at. That's of the wine varietals, Cabernet Franc is my favorite. Yeah, I think of wearing a scarf, drinking port wine, snow outside, a fireplace, and some jazzy Christmas music, and the buzz of people wearing stupid sweaters in the background. That's what I think of. And funny enough, I've never had that in my life. It's just like what I see on TV that I imagine what the good life would be. But I do enjoy all those. I've had all those things separately. I love wine. I've drank wine around a fireplace. I've been at stupid parties, but not drinking wine. I've watched the snow, all separately, but wine for a sunrise or sundown. Interesting. I've never really got up and drank for a sunrise in public. I mean, the only time that I'm drinking for a sunrise is if I've been out all night. And those are fun. Those are hilarious. I enjoy that. I think that I'd rather smoke a blunt, really. Wait, like if I've been out all night and the sun's about to come up, smoking weed and watching the sunrise, that's awesome. But as far as but sundown and wine is good. time we at here? It's 11:20 in the morning. You gotta always once in a while, just get in there, give yourself a little rub down, pull the ear balls down. It's a good drain. You can it'll make you drool a little bit in your mouth when you do this. And then there's 2 spots back here. Good release points, and see me do that a lot, and it's just get the blood moving up to my brain. You got the cider? Yeah. Cider is another thing that depending on the category you'd put it in, but I really like ciders. I had to stop drinking them because just like wine, when you drink the cheap stuff, it has sulfites in it, and sulfites are no good. I mean, the sulfites that are naturally occurring, they're not gonna screw with you. But when I drink too much red wine, sulfites in it, I like the cheap stuff. And when I drink cider, it tends to have sulfites in it. And after 4 drinks, I will develop I will have like a allergic reaction where it'll be tough to breathe, and I'll get like flushed. So it doesn't happen with anything else. It's something to do with the heavy metals, the sulfites, and it really it fucks with me. And it's like, and I'm done. I'm in for watching any good TV series. Oh, you know what I just watched? Y'all want to watch a great movie? It was a really, really, really great movie. It's called Nobody. Anybody seen it? It's on Netflix. Nobody. The star of it, the lead character. There's a couple scenes in it that are amazing. It's basically like somebody said it was kind of like who's Keanu Reeves play? He played when somebody killed his dog. The hell is the name of that movie? It sort of has that vibey to it. It's kind of like one of those vibes, but it's not the highest budgeted movie. But the actor that plays the major role is I know him as a comedian. I know him from his comedy stuff, but he pulls the role off just magically. It's called Nobody. I just watched it yesterday, and I'd watch it again. I'd watch it again today. Oh yeah. It's it has a John Wick vibe. His character, it's it's that, but there's 2 fight scenes in it that are amazing. It's not the kung fu. It's not the kung fu movies. It's not the John Wick where he wins the whole thing. It's not over the top. It's real world scenario. Like he's still busting ass, but it's real. It's good. It's really, really good. And that's not the only reason it's good, but it's just his character. And if you know him as a comedian, you're like, no way. And I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Mr. Robot. Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. That's good. Mr. Robot's good. And a good series. Well, it's not. I don't know. It's not. I wouldn't really call it a series, but Love, Death, and Robots. Love, Death, and Robots. Watch that whole thing. That won all sorts of awards. It's some of it is some of it's cartoony, stylized cartoon, and some of it is they're like short cartoons, but some of them are like One of them, I was like, is that real? Or do they take people acting and then put a filter on it? Or do they draw it lifelike? Or is there some sort of... Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really good. Jack Nicholson's kid, isn't it? You say Jack Nicholson's kid like he doesn't have like 20. There's like two people. There's two people that look exactly like Jack Nicholson in Hollywood right now. Um, that's funny. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, the guy from the guy from Better Call Saul. I've never seen the show, but his name is Bob Odenkirk. There you go, I got it. Bob Odenkirk, and he used to do Mr. Show, which is comedy, funny. He did things with all sorts of the really silly comedians. Bob Odenkirk. Yeah, that's his name. Conker, Jack was probably slang in his day. Somebody did. Yeah, it's funny. Somebody just told a story of hanging out with Jack Nicholson the other day, and who was it? Forget who told the story. It was a really hilarious story because the person that was telling it, and he was saying he was doing Jack Nicholson, and basically the end of the story is Jack saying to Danny DeVito, they're at a they're at a uh, they're at a basketball game, and there were some chicks kind of in vicinity, and then they go back to Jack Nicholson's house. He's like, "You gotta go," and I know it wasn't Danny DeVito. It was like somebody like that. It wasn't Danny DeVito. It was somebody else. But it's like, "You gotta go." He's like, What I gotta go for?" He's like, those chicks," and he goes, "That was like two of them." And then he goes on. He goes, "Do you use any kind of thing for your?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "If there's a group of them, I'm gonna need it. So I'm gonna need that today, something like that." And he's doing this whole Jack Nicholson impression. So I guess point is, I guess he's still knocking down whores. He's still knocking down them whores. Yeah. Oh yeah. Really. I always found that funny because if you look at your telephone and you know how you've got like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, and then you have two buttons. One is star, and the other one is called what? It's not called the hash. It's not called the hashtag. It's called pound. So when you had a phone, you would say pound 6 8 whatever, and you'd call something back. So what is the thing called instead of hashtag? It's called pound. Pound me too. That's the joke. That's literally the joke. Pound me too. Mm-hmm. Oh, David Manning, thank you, man. Well, then I will in a moment or two, I will order myself some beverages. Thank you, man. That's gonna go. Maybe maybe I'll go for another burp show. Because if I drink beer, I will get burpy. Maybe I'll just go. Maybe I'll walk to the store. We'll see. We'll see what they got on sale, online. Well, let me see. It's almost it's like 11:30. It's Tuesday. Do I have anything important to do right now? Hmm. Let me check my. Okay, I have a couple emails I gotta tend to, and it's been almost 3 hours. Anybody wants to, feel free. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Should be Zenmo. I don't know. And it is taco. I could get some tacos today. Feel free. You can donate to me if you are so enlightened, enlivened, or educated, or you had fun. Feel free. Nickel, dime, quarter, $100, a million, whatever you got in your back pocket. Feel free. TSAR, capital XEN. It's in the description box beneath. I'm gonna come back in a little while though, because I'm kind of feeling nice from these couple drinks, and I'm gonna go just step out, grab myself perhaps a small little snack and some beers, and come back on here and kick it with you guys, and give me like an hour. Maybe we'll find a show that we could do like a Tuesday movie date. You know, have a movie date with me. It's good to see everybody, and as per usual, you have to remember, take care of yourself, because your life is the most important, because you're experiencing it, not me, not anybody else. So enjoy it. And if I have to come back here and experience somebody else's life, you better have a good life. I don't have to go through your shit show and shenanigans. I'd rather live your life if you're having a good time. So start by having a good time, take care of yourself, and then help out others along the journey. Stay cool, be weird, and I'll check you guys in a little bit. And toodles, you freaks. Good to see you, Ninja. Good to see you, Colin. Good to see you, Memphar, and Dave, and everybody else in the background. I will be back in not too long from now. Toodles. Eat some noodles. And go have sex with poodles. Well, don't do that. That's just weird. I wouldn't like you as much. Bye, guys.